Welcome. All right. So, again, the goal of this class is manifold. The goal is to really learn how to pray in the way that we used to pray in the past. Our prayers are really meditations. It's just that because now we have books, and because we have Hebrew, which is not our first language, and because spirituality has been a bit disconnected from Judaism, today we have lost the art of meditation. The meditation in the East is actually sometimes very different than Jewish meditation. There's something called Jewish meditation. And we have our own tradition in meditation. And a lot of things that they teach in India or in those Eastern countries actually are similar or come from our Jewish meditations. But it's not always that, right? It's not exactly the same. So you can't say, oh, I'm going to meditate with those Indians. They might have things that are not proper, or right? Now, so the goal is to learn how to meditate in order to learn how to pray better in our everyday prayer. It teaches how to be really happy, because really what we start to find out through science today, and that's where I encourage everybody to learn about the book, You Are the Placebo. Try to buy the book and read it. You Are the Placebo is a book that teaches you and proves you on a scientific level how everything depends on your brain. That your brain is not just your brain is connected to your soul. And if your brain is connected to your soul, it means that it's the central power of the human being. And if you learn how to control your brain, which is your soul, your subconscious, then you can heal yourself. You can save about 90% of your bills that you send to the doctor. We're Jews, we got to save money. No, I'm just kidding. But one thing is you can heal yourself. And now I'm talking about cancer, tumors, something you break, like really everything, depression, dysfunctional things in your body, like basically almost everything. And the book is filled with proven cases. He explains to you the history of the placebo and how doctors use it all the time to heal patients. Basically, you have two people who have asthma crisis, right?
Yeah.
Crisis, and the one takes a real inhaler, and the other one will tell him take this inhaler, who they think is real, but really indeed that inhaler is only oxygen, or it's just nothing, just air, and he takes it and he produces exactly the same result as the one who got the real thing, meaning that everything happens here. We come to find out now today with quantum physics that we create our own reality through our brain. And this is very relevant in Judaism, because in Judaism, unless you believe God is around you and God is interacting with you and is actually a relationship, then you won't experience it. It becomes real in your mind the more you start seeing it and experiencing it. Because God is like a mirror. You come close, it comes close to you in the same time. You go away, it goes away in the same time. So God said, you speak to me, I speak to you. And that was the new idea of Abraham. Abraham's new idea was not there is one God. No, people knew there was the flood, there was Adam. It was not so far from Adam Arishon, first man. The new idea of Abraham is not that there's one God. It's that God, even though after the sin, right, God is still involved in your life. He's still interested in you. You can still have a relationship with Him. You can still connect to Him. Oh, come in.
Oh, hey.
I was just preparing them for you coming. So this is Master Mike Frendren. He looks very nice, but he's very powerful.
Yeah, be careful.
Come sit next to me. I just finished the introduction, and then you'll make your own introduction. Good to see you. All right. There's supposed to be some people coming, and many people couldn't come So they ask for forgiveness from you that they can come, but they say, hopefully next time, next week or whatever. So yes, so meaning the idea that we can have a real relation with God, and then what you create with your mind creates that reality. So Judaism is very dependent on that. These two books I recommend for people who wants to learn more about meditation, but first of all learn more about themselves. One book is called Getting to Know Yourself. It's it's a must read if you want to understand about how we work as a human being, that you're a soul, you're not just a body, and there's a whole chapter on meditation.
Is it correlated to religion?
What?
Is it correlated to religion?
Yeah, this is a Jewish book.
Okay.
It's a complete Jewish book. In there's a lot to quote about. I'll speak more about it in the future. But he says something very interesting right away at some point. There's something called the power to be alone. He says like that. When Hashem created Adam, he initially created him alone. He gave him a wife afterwards. And then they had two children, Cain and Abel. But the initial structure of creation was not with two people, but with one. So there's much to learn from this. There are two powers in the soul. There's the power to live in a world that contains other people, but there is also an earlier power deeper in the soul, which is the ability to be alone with no one else. This power stems from the fact that Hashem created man alone. At that time, there was no one else whom he could love or hate. So, meaning there's something called alone, and that's what we're going to try to learn through the meditation, and is to control our mind, to learn to be alone, so to speak, and then allow whatever you want to come into you. We'll speak more about it. And then the other book that I really recommend is called Jewish Meditation by Ari Kaplan, a very famous book now by Jewish people. It gives you all different types of meditation. Master Mike will learn. How do you want people to call you?
Mike's fine.
Mike?
It's just meditation class. It's not a martial arts class.
Okay. So he only used the martial art if you don't behave. Although if you behave, he just uses meditation. It's up to you. So Jewish meditation is a great way to teach you the different techniques, a little bit the history of meditation, how it came about, and there's actually some practical things for the Shemon Esrei, but this we'll learn later. So without any further ado, so I was telling them that the goal of this is for people who are here, if they want to review, if it's okay with you, that we're recording the same time, and we keep it private to our group. Is that okay with you or not? You can say no. I will understand.
That's what I'll put recording.
What time for the You tell me. Okay, we're about to start.